So we'll call to order. I don't think we need a formal roll call. Visual confirmation, all five present. We'll move right on to communications. Are there any members of the public or otherwise that would like to make a comment during public communications?
I have a comment.
Okay, thank you.
Just for the record, I'll indicate that Councilmember Gold has indicated to me that he will be recusing as you move into closed session. Is a real property interest conflict, which is recognizing.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to mention that right at the top here. So tonight, thank you. I am speaking as a private citizen tonight because I'm recusing myself from the closed session. I'm here to talk about the parcel that runs along the east side of Interstate 280 that you're going to be discussing in a few minutes. Sadly, this public comment session will be the only opportunity that I or any other interested party, doesn't look like there are any, will have to provide input to our elected officials. So my first question for you is, where did this issue even come from? When you sit on that side of the room, you're supposed to know pretty much everything that's going on in the town. But I never heard of this possible land deal before I got an email from the town just 4 days ago. Who authorized this? What's behind this? And why is this discussion being held behind closed doors? This could have been done at our regular town council meeting. It's not like tonight's agenda is so jam-packed that we couldn't have squeezed this in, Mayor. But shouldn't our citizens know that we're contemplating such a consequential act? This is a big deal. But my larger point is, why are we doing this at all? Who wants this? From what I can tell, there's just one person in our entire town who's interested in doing that, and that's Chris Shaw. And he's not an elected official. People voted for you. They didn't vote for him. You set the agenda, not him. And the reason I took the time to put this little speech together, which by the way runs 3 minutes and 40 seconds if I do it right, is that the four of you are about to open up Pandora's box. Because once you start discussing the terms and the price of a parcel, the last chapter of this story is going to be a painful repetition of the contentious housing element hearings we had in this very room a little over a year ago. I'm sure you all remember that. You're going to be forced by the state to build a bunch of apartment buildings on a 22-acre parcel. That's not a secret. That's the plan. Chris Shaw said so in the San Francisco Chronicle that's sitting in front of you right now, this article that I had sent to you this afternoon. It starts by talking price and terms, and the dominoes then start to fall. It's going to be a bargain price now that Caltrans has been strong-armed by Senator Becker, who did so, by the way, without any of us asking him to. So be prepared to be peppered with endless, uncomfortable questions. How can you possibly pass up this bargain? Closing that Pandora's box is not going to be so easy. This is a blunder, I think, of epic proportions with major consequences for our town. I know I'm prone to hyperbole. I don't think I'm exaggerating here. If we learned anything from the last housing cycle, it's that the only leverage HCD has over us is forcing us to build on parcels that we own and we control. That's the lesson we learned. If we own parcels, Raimondo and High Road and anything else, they can force us to do stuff. In this case, how many times did I hear people say Sacramento is holding a gun to our heads? You probably all said that. I know I heard Chris say that many times. Our town's one saving grace is that we own so few parcels. Most of them are unbuildable. Do you really want to give HCD an additional 22 acres to use against us? And owning this parcel is hardly going to be free. Right now, we get 100% of the recreational and scenic benefits of this parcel for zero cost and zero liability. It's all on Caltrans. Why would we want to change that? So what I'm asking you to do is hit the pause button and first determine if Woodside should be acquiring any surplus lands before we go off half-cocked negotiating price and terms, before this careens out of control. And if our citizens don't want it, we should tell Caltrans, thanks, but we're not buyers at this time. That's the right answer. A little caution costs you absolutely nothing, but it will spare everyone a lot of turmoil and stress. But if this discussion about acquiring this parcel goes any further, the dominoes are surely going to start to fall. And don't be surprised when you find yourself forced to go out against our citizens and put a bunch of apartment buildings there. I'm sure you'll complain that Sacramento is holding a gun to our head again, but the unfortunate truth is that you gave them 22 acres of ammunition. Good governance and transparency, two things Woodside prides itself on, is first finding out if our citizens want or need additional lands and the consequences of those. Thank you, and thank you for the accommodation on time.
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Gold. Any other public comments? Mr. Burrow.
David Burrow, 135 Sheridan Way. Thank you. I'm here really to, when I found out about the topic for this meeting, I was quite surprised. Again, as Paul, I had not aware of any prior discussions about the town's interest in acquiring land. And I'm not aware of any pressure that Sacramento is putting on us to do something that would cause us to want to do this. And if we want to do this just in case, that's not a very good reason. And I think the one thing you should think about is, as Paul mentioned, is that when you see, and maybe there's a legal reason why it reads out the way it does in the agenda, but when it looks like you're negotiating, it looks like the decision's already been taken that we're interested in buying land. And again, I think this has the risk of, losing a lot of trust that I think the town has in the council, in the town staff, and in the processes that we followed in the past. I can't think of another issue in my time where something caused me to wonder, what is really going on? Is this really a transparent organization that is going to seek input before it takes action? And so whether or not that, it was really maybe you were just trying to find out what the price was and there was no other way to do it. But if it was anything more than that, then you're really, starting to break the bonds of trust with the town residents. And I think that's a sad thing if that happens. And I would certainly encourage you to think hard about how you're presenting, how this looks, and whether you meant it to look that way or not, I don't know. But it does look that way, and you should be aware of that. And maybe we'll find out someday soon why that was worth it for you to take that step. Or maybe you were just awkward and not doing it in a proper way. I don't know what the cause was, but anyway, I just wanted to add that to Paul's comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Burrow. Any other? Yes?
I have one hand raised in Zoom. Thomas, I'm going to allow you to talk.
Yes, good evening. I share Paul's view that this is really happening too quick without any real discussion or prior information to the rest of the public of the town of Woodside. I don't understand why this is on the agenda. It's very confusing and a little unnerving considering the cost of considering something of this scale. So I strongly advise the council to terminate this and not to go forward without more discussion and involving the community that you serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thomas. Jen, anything else? Okay, thank you all. We're going to close communications and move into the closed session. So we'll just give it a second here.